not merely talk the talk. And it is inspiring to be amidst people like you sitting here.
For this effort. I'm delighted to be here this evening, and I'm here particularly for this function.
I congratulate the organizers for drawing our attention and focusing attention on this very important area.
Pratap Padode, who is responsible for conceptualizing this idea.
Thank Aspire for this event this evening, underscoring India's commitment.
Welcome to the 15th Construction World Architect and Builder Awards 2020, the Oscars of the design and building industry. I am Serafina D'Souza, Assistant Editor of Construction World, and on behalf of the ASAPP Info Global Group, it gives me great pleasure to be your host this evening. We welcome and thank our chief guest, His Excellency Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Governor of Maharashtra, and our guest of honor, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja, Vice Chairman, Rail Land Development Authority, for gracing our event today. I would also like to mention and thank our partners for support to the CWAB Awards powered by BKT this year. Gold partner, Kone Elevators, Silver partner, Katera, and Design Dialogue partner, Orient Bell Tiles. The awards are also being live tweeted. Please use the hashtags #CWAB Awards 2020, #CWAB, and #CWAB 2020 if any of you are tweeting as well. Before we begin, let us commence the event by lighting the auspicious lamp virtually. Before I invite Mr. Pratap Padode, founder, ASAPP Info Global Group, and Editor-in-Chief, Construction World, to give the welcome address, a few words about him. A chartered accountant by qualification, Pratap Padode pioneered equity research in India by launching India's most successful specialized equity journal in 1986. His passion for infrastructure over the last 20 years is reflected in the innovative thought leadership through 6 specialized magazines, conferences, and awards organized in the fields of construction, infrastructure, and engineering. He is also the president of FIRST, the Foundation of Infrastructure Research Studies Training, which was set up in 2003 and brings out research reports and newsletters on various infrastructure segments. Since early 2014, he has been promoting the move to smart, sustainable cities and contributing to the Smart Cities Council Partners' business success through advocacy and action as the founder director of the Smart Cities Council India. I now request Mr. Padode to please address us.
His Excellency Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Governor of Maharashtra, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja, Vice Chairman, Rail Land Development Authority, members of the jury for 2020, architects, builders, contractors, designers, developers, engineers, financiers, government departments, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 15th Construction World Architect and Builder Awards being organized by First Construction Council and ASAPP Info Global Group. During the 13th CWAB Awards, I had emphasized how we had set upon ourselves the mandate to equip ourselves digitally. Well, in hindsight, it did us very well to hold us high and roaring, even when the pandemic hit. The country and the world locked down, but we went to work. Our first webinar was held on 31st March, and then at the pace of 2 per week, we took upon ourselves the mandate to deliver business and industry wisdom as the industry tried to make sense of the chaos that followed. Our digital presence grew beyond and even connected cities right from Sydney to Toronto as we updated stakeholders on opportunities and challenges in India. First Construction Council is a non-profit infrastructure think tank set up 17 years ago. It is dedicated to promoting causes and needs of the construction industry and to benchmark with the best practices in the world. CWAB is an example of that philosophy. Set up 15 years ago, it had a mission to set standards and benchmarks for becoming the best in the building industry. CWAB has delivered by becoming a coveted recognition in the building industry today. We are living in the 21st century where being a part of the information revolution is the only way to be. You can pay digitally, you can view digitally, you can have meetings digitally, you can take medical advice digitally, you can conduct arbitration matters digitally, you can bid digitally, you can receive subsidies and loans digitally, you can pay taxes digitally. Now you can even have faceless assessments done digitally. You can also hold businesses to ransom digitally, and you can bring down governments and influence elections digitally. But then digital applications have made inroads into our industry too. Our architects use software for designing plans. Our engineers use software applications in planning precise executions. Our site surveyors use drones in surveying sites. Technology is used in soil investigation. With BIM, digital 3D models that include data associated with physical and functional characteristics can be designed. BIM allows architects, engineers, and contractors to collaborate on coordinated models so that everyone can have valuable insights into how their work fits in the overall project. According to the results of the latest IDC's global survey, Indian private companies are spearheading the BIM adoption revolution, but it is mostly being used for overseas clients. BIM technology's recent examples are Bangalore Airport and the Delhi Metro Rail, but the industry as a whole is lagging in this regard. The digital transformation process has been categorized in the survey into 5 stages, where stage 1, called the ad hoc stage, represents companies whose digital initiatives are poorly aligned with enterprise strategy and do not focus on customer experience. Stage 5, on the other end, is called the digital disruptor stage and includes enterprises that have been leading the charge in terms of usage of new digital technologies and have been driving business innovation. IDC's findings say that more than 70% of the companies are in stages 1 and 2, and only 3% of the companies have successfully traversed the digital transformation journey. When it comes to investment in BIM-based software, Brazil's construction companies are in the lead, which can be attributed to the boom of the public-private partnership and the push for mandatory usage by 2021. 32% of the construction companies currently only spend 1 to 3% of their annual turnover on technologies, while just 2.5% spend over 25%. Despite the benefits identified, 95% of the organizations worldwide use digital construction solutions in just 50% or less of their projects, while only 2% use digital construction solutions in over 60% of their projects. Over half of India's construction companies, including those involved in rail, road, and housing projects, currently only spend 1 to 3% of their annual turnover on technologies, while one-third spend 3 to 5% according to this survey. Now, in India, we've seen that property companies use technologies like augmented reality, but then the results are very tangible to see. So I think, and we have done this across in our webinars when we have done live polling, now the reason which everyone attributed to low interest in technology or low adoption of technology was that the benefits were not known. Now, benefits of technology like overall project management, performance, improving health and safety, or control of time and scheduling, control of costs and waste, collaboration among different stakeholders, project documentation, etc. are well known, but they need to be more tangible in order to get more and more people to buy into this. Their main concerns today as per the survey, were completing projects on time and on budget, India's prime concern. Workforce safety was second, and effectively managing risk and data security were third in order of priority. But during COVID and post-COVID times, things are going to be vastly different. Labor costs have gone up, and skilled labor is going to cost even more. It is time to pay for output than input. It is time to evaluate outcome, not just income. Trust is another area which scores during such times of crisis and rewards trust owners with far greater premium than average. A brand which commands trust, quality, design, and value is the brand to aspire to be. Each of the winners this evening have a tremendous brand of their own, which stands for many of the attributes that stakeholders in the industry wish to see. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the American philosopher, nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Please put your hands together for the winners this evening of CWAB Awards 2020. Before I go, may I now invite Group Managing Editor and co-founder ASAPP Info Global Group, Falguni Padode, to tell you about the process of discovering the stars for tonight. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to welcome our chief guest, His Excellency Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Governor of Maharashtra and Goa, and our guests of honor, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja, Vice Chairman, Rail Land Development Authority, and Mr. Habib Khan, President, Council of Architecture. Our glittering architect and builder community from across the country, to the 15th Construction World Architect and Builder Awards 2020, being held online for the very first time. In these pandemic times, the whole world has reconfigured itself, and so have we. A huge amount of logistical jugglery has been at play for this event. To reach the trophies to our winners before the event, so that they could participate with their trophies today, has been quite a feat. Our starry networking evenings have taken the form of this fabulous virtual event today. We have just met our stars, the winners, the jury, and our sponsors in the virtual backstage before the program began. The CWAB Awards, as they are known, were conceptualized 15 years ago to recognize and award excellence in the design and building community. We had a simple ceremony in 2006, but it proved to be a very solid beginning. In 2007, the real estate boom was on, and the then governor of Maharashtra, Shri S.M. Krishna, graced the occasion. And since then, the awards have taken on a life of their own. Many stars have been born here, and many stars have retained their luminosity over the years. CWAB was started as a perception-based survey, which was put to vote to industry professionals, and then shortlisted entries were vetted by an august jury, which awarded India's top architects and builders. In 2016, in our 11th year, we invited entries into the Noteworthy Projects category. And in 2018, we invited entries in the regional category, where an architect, builder, and interior designer were awarded from each of the 4 regions of the country. Since then, the model morphed from a perception-based survey into an invitation and nomination-based one. So the winners that you will see here today have sent us their work and have chosen to partner with us in our quest to recognize excellence. Nominations were shortlisted and presented to the jury. There was one jury for the top architects and builders category, as well as the regional category. For Noteworthy Projects, we invited entries in 6 categories. Regional, which is individual homes and buildings, commercial, hospitality, retail, institutional, and interiors. And within interiors, we have again awarded projects in the residential, commercial, retail, institutional, and hospitality categories. These were judged by a separate jury and also online. You will be meeting these heavyweights very soon, both the jury and the winners. Every year we start this process in February, and it culminates here today. Even in these times, we've received 816 nominations this year across all categories. Each year we have a theme for these awards. Our past themes have included green, youth, innovation, smart, global, diversity, STAR, which is an acronym for sustainability, technology, aesthetics, and rationale. Our theme for 2020 is fusion. Futuristic vision, quite aptly so, to plan, design, and build structures that are future-ready with the apt use of innovative materials, techniques, approach, and amenities, and with the vision to sustain, enhance efficiency, improve performance, and save costs. In the past 15 years, much has happened. Real estate has boomed, it has crashed, and revived. Landmark structures have been designed, built, and lauded. We have had a Pritzker awardee from India in 2018, Shri B.V. Doshi. Architect Hafiz Contractor received the Padma Bhushan in 2018. And architect C. N. Raghavendran was awarded the Padma Shri in 2011. We are incredibly proud of all of you, because in your success lies our success and that of this industry. So power on, and we will be here in every eventuality. As we are today, we have your back.
Winners, architects, designers, builders, developers, welcome. Welcome to Mangaluru, welcome to Karnataka.
The regional awards, which represent the 4 regions of the country, north, south, east, west. This evening, we promote over 37 winners from across the country.
So yes, I'm an architect, so now I had the opportunity and I'm happy to be here. It's a real pleasure to be in Bangalore.
I would like to welcome all my friends, the architects, builders, and city planners. I'm seeing so many stars in a single hall.
you, Ms. Padode, for commencing the evening on such an inspiring and empowering note. While the real estate sector was just about coming out of the adverse shadow of GST and demonetization, it was hit by the pandemic. While the adverse effects of the coronavirus are being felt world over, varying opinions are emerging on the impact of the pandemic on the real estate sector. Research agencies are predicting a near-term halt in India's real estate growth. While the road to recovery may be slow and painful, let us hear from our experts on how real estate will grow despite COVID. I now invite Shriyal Sethumadhavan, feature editor, Construction World, to take forward the power-packed discussion with our esteemed panelists.
One. Life.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to you all to join us for this exclusive Construction World virtual panel discussion on how real estate will grow despite COVID-19. I am Shriyal Sethumadhavan, the features editor of Construction World, and this webinar is being organized by the First Construction Council and ASAPP Info Global Group. Quickly, I would take you through the Board of Governors on the panel of the First Construction Council. We have Mr. Pratap Singh, Mr. D.K. Sen, Architect Hafiz Contractor, Mr. Sandeep Singh, all the big names from the industry, Mr. Subodh Dixit, Mr. Sumit Banerjee, Mr. Sandeep Seth. Also, a quick introduction to Construction World. 22 years in running, distributed across 800 cities in India and overseas. And as always committed, the brand delivers the most authentic, trusted, and up-to-date information about the construction business. Also, the ASAPP Digital Services, it's a new offering that covers everything from digital strategies, social media management, website creation, lead generation. My recommendation here is that you take a screenshot of this, as you would see the contact details at the bottom of your screen. If you want to boost your business, do write into us. And here's a quick view to all the publications that are offered by ASAPP Info Global Group along with Construction World. And with this, I go straight into introducing our esteemed panelists with us for today. Please welcome Mr. Harshvardhan Neotia, Chairman, Ambuja Neotia Group, Mr. J.C. Sharma, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Sobha, Architect Manit Rastogi, Founding Partner, Morphogenesis, Mr. Mohit Malhotra, the Managing Director and CEO, Godrej Properties, Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, Founder and Managing Director, Hiranandani Constructions, and Mr. Rahul Kadri, Principal Architect, IMK Architects. With this, we are all set to dive straight into our topic of how real estate will grow despite COVID-19. The webinar is powered by BKT, Gold Partner Kone Elevators, Silver Partner Katera, and Design Dialogue Partner Oriental Tiles. With the adverse effects of the novel coronavirus, which is being felt world over, varying opinions are emerging on the COVID-19's impact on real estate sector. Hence, today, this webinar, where we all have come together to look at how real estate will grow and fight this pandemic. I have all the panelists here with me, and I would like to welcome each one of you and thank you for all your time and joining us. From here, we would go straight into our topic of discussion. So, are we all set? Yes. So, I'm going to get started from here, and I would go straight to Mr. Mohit Malhotra. We would begin with you. I think one question that everyone is, trying to get the answers for, that when do you see real estate reclaiming the pre-COVID levels? Is it going to take us 6 months? Is it going to take us 9 months, 12 months, 24 months? What are your estimates here?
Yeah, thanks, Shriyal. It's a tough question. to predict future. Um, I think the COVID will take its time, for things to settle down. The first trigger would be vaccine coming in, and post which economy also has to come back. And subsequently to that, I think the recovery would happen in real estate space. So my guess would be that optimistically it would take us at least year and a half to two before things go back on track. Having said that, I think for the good brands, this is not a period where we are seeing sales slowing down. We still see strong consumer demand for the good quality developers, and I think this era would lead to a consolidation in the industry, and because at the same prices in the world, the real estate prices at an all-time low, affordability is at all-time high. So end consumers are seeing value in buying real estate today. So I think the general industry and the overall sentiment, I think it'll take us at least a 2-year time frame.
2-year time frame. Mr. Sharma, if I have to direct the same question to you, what do you see? I think Mr. Malhotra has given us a clear view of the scenario. But if I just have to go by the numbers, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 1 year, 2 years, like Mr. Malhotra says, what is your estimate here?
See, it will also depend primarily from place to place. In my view, right, more or less for the developers to come back, improve their liquidity, to get started, it should be taking 6 to 12 months time. And for the market to come back to its normalcy, it may take 18 months or so. I am also agreeing with Mohit that looking at the easy liquidity, low interest cost, and for the economy to get any kind of a trigger, the revival of real estate will be one of the key important factor. Once government is clear that they are in control of COVID-19, and post that, once the real stimulus starts, this recovery, in my view, can be even faster. I also feel that the southern states should be doing significantly better than the other parts of India. Maybe it will get followed by the western states and then maybe the whole of India. But for Indian economy to revive and the banking sector to get back on rail, I do believe that despite pandemic, the green shoots should be visible maybe 6 months from now.
Sure. From there, I go to Mr. Neotia. Which are the real estate sectors that are set to, take off first during this entire COVID scenario? If we have to choose from residential, commercial, industrial, retail, and hospitality, or you could put it in your order of which sector you think would take off first in these times.
Well, it's obvious that it will be the residential which will lead the recovery. And the reasons are very simple. First of all, as Mohit said, and as also Mr. Sharma said, affordability is at an all-time high at this particular point of time. Besides, people have been sort of locked into their homes and they realize the importance of home and space. And many people have to work from home. And we are seeing a lot of inquiries where people want to move to a larger apartment just because they need more space. Probably they didn't feel that earlier because they didn't have to spend so much of time at home. So this is a new situation. And I think that's why, as Mohit mentioned, the credible developers are having a good traction, and particularly apartments which are complete or near complete, they are getting more inquiries because there is also a need for people to move quickly to a new space. So that clearly will be the winner. And of course, the other segments will follow. But hospitality, as we all know, will be certainly one of the last ones to come back on because it's one of those contact industries which is absolutely antithetical to what COVID has done to us. COVID wants us to socially distance ourselves, and hospitality wants you to socially embrace. So I think they just don't seem to go together. And till we really get a sort of grip on the problem of COVID, hospitality will take the longest to recover.
Mr. Hiranandani, would you also agree with this, that residential would be the first to take off and hospitality would, take the longest to recover?
I fully agree with Mr. Harsh Neotia. There's no doubt about it that he's absolutely on the dot. And we're already seeing these green shoots happen. And if you see some of the reports of the listed companies, I think already we are seeing green shoots with many of them. And I think Mohit sets the leadership in that segment in terms of what is happening. We also have another good news, which we got just yesterday, where Maharashtra government has reduced the stamp duty rates down to 2% from 5%. And we are also expecting some other benefits to come in terms of the government, in terms of various other things that they are charging us for. So I do believe that there is going to be really a push into the residential space, so to say, very, very fast. On the other hand, we also see the fact that commercial is having a little bit of a setback. But that commercial setback, which is there today and will continue for some time till the COVID situation goes, my view is going to be more dependent on how the GDP grows. So if we can pull back GDP growth back again to a positive rate of growth, which we can actually, if we can push infrastructure, if you can push real estate, this negative part of the GDP growth can be made into positive. And once that happens, no matter whether you work from home or otherwise, commercial real estate will spring back and will probably surprise everybody. So the kind of negativism which I read about in terms of commercial over a long period of time, I don't think will be true, will be disproving all these negative sayers that commercial is not going to happen at all. But the part where the work from home is happening is a big explosion, because people have found out that it is possible to work efficiently from home. Not everybody, but quite a few of them are doing very efficient work from home, including myself. And that's why I can give you my own example. And I do find that a lot of people are thinking about how to get more space. And if two people are working from home, surely they need more space very quickly. And that is why the demand is going to really come back. So the work from home will give a temporary setback to commercial, but not for a long period of time. But the residential definitely is going to see a lot. One of the items you missed out, I would say, is warehousing and logistic spaces. So I think that is something which in the next couple of years is really going to grow tremendously. And it's already happening. And you can see the highest growth in warehousing, in data centers, and all those concerned with logistics is really going to see a big explosion in this day, especially with the e-commerce. Also, I think what Mr. Harsh Neotia said about retail is going to be a problem for some time. But, in the long run, one can't say. And many times I remember the time in 2008 when there was a setback and everybody said, now 5 years, everything is gone dead. And in reality, in about 8 to 10 months, it started rolling back. So if you get a vaccine, let's say optimistically by November, then I promise you that all the negativism that we are talking about 18 and 24 months will disappear. And March of next year, you will be marching on much, much faster with a positive rate of growth. But vaccines are not sure and nobody is 100%, nor am I. But I can tell you one thing, people get surprises. COVID surprised us. Vaccine could also surprise us.
Very well said. So, from there, I would also not overlook this, that with this pandemic, the inventory levels have gone at an all-time high.
We're going to have Priyal join us right back. So till then, just...
Yes, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sorry for that, just a network glitch. But yes, what I was saying is that we've seen that with this pandemic, inventory levels have gone to an all-time high. We've seen sales drop by at least 70% across cities in the country. So what could be the solution-oriented approach over here? Now, what I'm going to do for this answer is I have listed 4 options and I have a lot of questions and we have very less time. I'm going to highlight these 4 options and these specifically go to the 4 developers on my panel to select which one do you think is the most ideal solution-oriented approach. So one would be liquidating inventory. Second would be offering more discounts, considering that, the whole festive season that is around us. Third could be flexible payment options to convert inquiries into hard sales. Next, initiating virtual tours and presentations, especially in a situation where people are not able to be physically present to visit sites. And next, to shift a wider focus to the NRI market. What would be your pick from this? We could begin with Mr. Sharma.
Okay, so I'll be taking that liquidating the inventory part. I think it's a misnomer that the real estate sector is carrying a huge inventory. Number one. Number two, when the sales are down, automatically whatever you have on a quarterly basis, it will take more quarters or more number of time or days or months to liquidate that, presuming that that pace continues. But we are living in a dynamic environment. The demand had fallen sharply, as you have correctly put it across, and it is expected to also rise sharply because there have been hardly any launches, A. And B, there is already some kind of a convergence which is happening to those developers who are completing their projects on time. See, the market is one of the most important things we must always remember. It understands everything more than you and me understand. Customers are reasonably well informed thanks to social media, thanks to the multiple laws today which bind us. Keeping those things into mind, I do believe that the liquidation of the inventory had already started happening with the launches getting deferred, and we need not have to unduly worry on that front.
Right. Next, if I go to Mr. Neotia, what would your solution approach be from the list that I just shared?
Well, I think many of the points you shared are not either or. Some of them have to move parallelly with each other. But my general experience is that, as Mr. Sharma also mentioned and Niranjan Bhai also mentioned, when the track record of the developer is good, I don't think much of discounting is necessary. Probably people require some payment plan because of the cash flow issues. But other than that, I don't see that you can jump sales very much by giving any discount. In fact, you create weakness in your product positioning and perhaps it is not necessary. You remember, this COVID came in on the back of a rather slow economy. So prices have been modest in most markets. Maybe there are some odd markets and pockets where the prices had gone up. But in most parts, at least in Calcutta where I operate, it has been more or less flat over the last 3 years. So I don't see that price correction is a very significant part, at least for credible developers. But having said that, all these markets like NRI, etc., are all certainly more active now than before. And I think it's right to say that there is a convergence of demand towards credibility. People are getting more and more risk averse. They've had a problem in the past, and now with COVID, they feel that they should not risk investing in projects under construction. So number one, if you are not a very well-known developer, they would rather buy a flat from you closer to completion. And if you are a well-known developer, hopefully you can do some bookings in advance.
Right. Mr. Hiranandani, your take here?
I agree with Harshji that in reality, it's going to be a combination of more than one when you really want to do the sales. So I also agree that you can't be offering discounts the way people are doing or suggesting. It's not going to happen. Liquidating inventory, yes, but the other parts are very interesting, which is when you suggest flexible payment options, of course, because people don't have the liquidity. Are you going to do virtual tours? Of course, you're going to do it. Are you going to look at the NRI market? We look at every market. So it's not just the NRI market. There's going to be so many markets. So when you really want to do marketing, you really take up all the issues together and do it. And all our friends in the panel today also have got so many new innovative methods of selling that they are doing that many times I copy them also.
Yes. Mr. Malhotra, what would your say be from this list that I shared?
Yeah, I think I agree with Mr. Hirandani, Harsh, that we have to look at all the options, and they're not necessarily either or. There has to be and in them. Three levers which we have been kind of focusing on. One is the digital sales. Quite surprised with the way consumers have adopted to digital channels, and I was just speaking to the team that even within Indian consumer, there are people who are living abroad. They have transacted digitally, but even within India, people who could have gone to sites, almost 40 to 50% of people are buying digitally 100%, which is very interesting. The second, of course, is the NRI market. I think there is a class of people who have started to feel that this is the right time to invest in real estate. So while there is a lot of end user demand, but there are a set of people who have started to believe that we are in the bottom of the market, and this could be a very interesting time to invest. We saw very, very strong demand in international markets in Q1, and we continue to see it in Q2. And of course, we have to be flexible, and consumers need some bit of payment flexibility given the uncertainty in their own jobs, in their life. So I think payment plan flexibility is something which again is important tool. So I think all of these options have to be evaluated together. It's a tough time, so all options have to be working parallelly.
True. This takes me straight to the architects who joined us on this panel. When we speak of virtual reality, I think you as architects get involved in the project right from the planning stage. And it has been a long time now that we are talking about how technologies can play a role in, efficient designing and in making the whole construction process smoother. So regardless of the lockdown, how do you see the augmented reality and virtual reality technologies playing a major role in transforming the building industry? This could be, are they going to, empower each stakeholder to take better decisions? Are they going to help save time and money? Are they going to, help offering a better global reach, or encourage a whole new way of experiencing, reviewing and modifying projects before they are even built? I would like to start with Mr. Kadri. How do you see these technologies playing a transformational role here?
Thanks, Shriyal. They are already playing a tremendous role. But before I come to this, I just want to say we are missing a whole segment over here. At least in Mumbai and Maharashtra, we have 50% of people who live in slums, and they are in the greatest need of space. So residential development and development of slums and the buildings that need repair and reconstruction, that's a huge market, and the multiplier effect of jobs in that is tremendous. So we need really the government to step away. Right now, the government makes money off all the development, especially slum, all, right? If they were to step away and not monetize FSI, prices could come down 25%. I'm sure Mohit and Niranjan will agree that if the government were not to want to make money off real estate, prices today would drop 25% straight away and make things much more affordable. So we have 12 million houses needed in Bombay itself, which is a completely ignored market. We've hardly touched on 5% in the last 30 years, only 5% of slums have been developed. So we clearly need another mechanism. And this time we can use to reflect on how to do this as a state or a country, so that once we are out of COVID, we really have a very good plan going forward on how to solve this really, really pressing problem. I mean, the whole migration problem, everything stems from slums and housing in the cities and how friendly the cities are. So sorry to divert from what you were saying, but I thought this was a very, very crucial point, especially since
and I think it also relates to the fact that we said at this point we see residential taking off. So these are all the opportunity areas that we can focus on. But just coming back straight to the question, because we are very short on time also right now. So speaking about these technologies, how do you see them transforming? I had given you 4 options. If you could just
let me give Manit a chance on that.
Yes. Okay. So Mr. Rastogi, we come to you on that.
Thank you, Shreya. So I'm not going to digress. I'll try and stick to the point. However, Rahul, well done. You managed in front of 4 developers talk about not optimizing FSI, and that's really brave. I'm very proud of you. Well done.
Not optimizing. Sorry, not charging. Government shouldn't charge. Government shouldn't charge for FSI.
So I'll tell you from what we see now. These are terms, augmented reality, virtual reality. I mean, if you look at the adoption of technology, what we're talking on today has always existed. VR and AR have been there. However, I think what's really interesting is to see how technology can really solve a problem, and in India, that's critical. So right now, the criticality in residential design that you're seeing across the country comes from 2 or 3 areas. One, in terms of design optimization. So you can most efficiently use the FSI to create valuable space. 2 is cost of construction. So once you sort of get out of the design process, you go through the sanctioning, the marketing process, the developers have to go through, and the construction. And we find we're very primitive in the way we built today, and which is why it takes us so long, and the supply chains are so ineffective in terms of how we build. So I think the real play here, which we're going to see, and it is happening in real time, is a convergence of technologies, say between BIM, VR, AR, IoT, geospatial, drone technology. We have a site in Surat where we're doing site visits through a drone, and the drone is linked to our BIM model, so it knows how to fly around inside the building, because it can geospatially locate itself, and we can see that in real time. So we think that there's going to be a dramatic shift in this sort of adoption of these technologies, the convergence, and more importantly, for buildings to move away from being constructed to being manufactured, and thereby seeing a sort of great play in savings in both cost of construction and life cycle as well.
Perfect. Now from here, I'm going to go by options, and let's go through this very quickly. We have 10 minutes on us for this session. So I come straight to Mr. Sharma on this. What about new launches, Mr. Sharma? When do we expect to see new launches increase significantly? Just in one word, is your estimate the 2nd quarter ending September, 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, or the next fiscal?
We have planned roughly 14 million square feet of new launches, right, from now onwards, in next 6 to 8 quarters, starting from next month. And we remain reasonably bullish that most of these launches, as and when they happen, they will get good response, because market still remains starved of good products availability. And those who will be launching at this point of a time, I do believe even under construction projects of those developers should be selling significantly better than what it used to happen during pre-COVID days.
Right. And Mr. Malhotra, coming to you next. In the case of ongoing projects, what could further push the delivery of these timelines? Could it be, shortage of labor, or delay in supply of construction materials and equipment, or, crisis in the country's non-banking financial sector, which makes borrowing extremely difficult? So in your opinion, what could further push delivery of timelines of these?
I think the labor requirement in my mind is the biggest challenge right now. which we need to resolve.
Okay, okay. From there, I come next to Mr. Hiranandani. Specific to commercial real estate, which segment has been worst affected by the coronavirus pandemic? So, if we have to look at office space, retail, industrial, logistics, hospitality, which one would you say has been worst affected?
I think the retail and hospitality, without a doubt, and also the fact that the future also looks gray for them in terms of the immediate future. So even with the opening out, we find that these sectors are not opening up fast enough. So one of the countries like Dubai, which is opening out and doing it in a fantastic, beautiful way, very few people have even thought of trying to use that type of mechanism that they have done in terms of creating this change to happen. They have taken the leadership in terms of the hospitality part of the whole thing and the retail part of the whole thing. Maybe we can learn a few tips from Dubai and try to eliminate, put those examples into practice, maybe for Goa, maybe for Kerala, maybe for Jammu and Kashmir, maybe for travel tourism through the Jaipur, Udaipur circuit, Agra. So I think what they need to do is really to pick up such examples and create solid positive stories in each one of them and use them in order to create a story to start it off. Because unless you don't do that, you are destroying an industry which has huge potential in terms of doing things. So I think I'm very sorry to say that we don't have enough suggestions also from this industry. You know, on the real estate side, we've been talking about the rest of the industry, but I've yet to hear one hotelier come up and tell that, look, we should open out in this particular way. Dubai's done it, we can do it in India, and really take the onus and responsibility to move forward.
True, true. With that, I'll come straight to Mr. Kadri, talking about design trends. You know, with the precedence of security and assurance factor now being predominant in these COVID times, if you could tell us which are the two design trends, specifically two design trends that you see emerging out of this situation?
Definitely need for space for staff, part-time staff coming into buildings, especially in places like Bombay. We found that now part-time staff could not come. So having enough space for them to stay, toilets, etc., on the ground floor, where the cleanliness and hygiene can be maintained, that's a critical need that we found. The other is using open space much more effectively. And right across, not only in schools, but even at homes. So if the designer can go lower rise and give more terraces and open spaces available, because there's going to be a premium on FSI. So using open space and making it personal is going to be something that's going to emerge as a trend.
Right. Mr. Neotia, next question to you. I think this is something that everyone's, keeping their eyes open to. That will property prices fall in India? What is your say over here? Is it likely to diminish in the short term? Will there be no price correction as prices are already low, or are prices to increase in the times ahead? What could we expect?
So this is difficult to answer for the whole country, because I'm sure there would be markets that would have different situations. But I would say in general, I don't see too much of a southward correction in prices. And that's not because of COVID, but because we were already soft on prices over the last 3 years. Most markets in India, and certainly the markets where I operate in, were more or less flat, except maybe there was a little spike in retail, which is obviously now impacted. But the prices hadn't gone up. So I don't see that. Yes, there would be some developers getting into distress, particularly those who've not got a good track record of delivery on time, or have had design problems or construction quality problems. So there will be some of them which will get into difficulties. But by and large, if you talk about the more credible builders with a good track record, I don't see much of price correction, or any price correction for that matter. Maybe it won't go up for the next 6 months, but that's about it.
Okay. And with this, I take my last question with Mr. Rastogi. These are unprecedented times in COVID, and real estate has been badly hit. But rooms have become important, design has become important, and social distancing has become important. So, if you can again just highlight two key changes, very short, two key changes in architecture that are set to come about in these times.
Sure, I think so I'll just say one for residential and one for commercial. These are the two biggest sectors in the country.
Yes.
In residential, I think what we are going to begin to see, there's been a lot of emphasis on the design of the unit apartment and its ticket size and its compactness. And as Rahul rightfully said, we've realized the value of open space. However, other than the value of open space, which is going to be critical to every project, whether it's on the roof or on a balcony or a veranda or on open land, I think what we will see and we should begin to see is how residential units are capable of moving away from one function, one space. So, the BHK, but the B today, the bedroom, is also being used as a classroom. It's also being, with online education, it's being used also for exercise, it's being used for recreation, it's being used as a guest room, it's being used as a dining room because someone else is sitting in the dining room, the hall and working. And so if you look at the sort of the Japanese philosophy in unit, how they design, they're just, spaces with screens. I mean, that's a bit extreme, but I think we will have to look at, I think we will see a move in residential design with fully fitted out tight units, which can provide multifunctional usages to each of the spaces.
Right.
In a sense, sort of, do a lot more with a lot less. So the less is not going to go more in terms of, because of the affordability factor. In commercial space, there's been a polarization over the last 2 decades. There's either been really large commercial complexes or IT complexes or campuses that have been created, and by and large, we've lost the small offices. And I think we're going to see a revival of that because a lot of companies may tend to start looking at a hub and spoke model where there are offices closer to where people live. So this sort of people moving up and down for 2 hours, 3 hours, every day may see a shift with the rise of these more smaller kind of offices, which are not going to be co-working, which will not be pure leasing, but a new model, which is a hybrid between the business center, the co-working, and smaller managed leasing offices, where technology will help sort of have this more octopus-like office rather than the one large singular office. So those campuses will remain, but I do think that we will see a revival of this kind of model as well in commercial. Also, with that will allow for a lot more flexibility in terms of densification and de-densification of the office.
Yes, thank you so much. And on this note, I would like to thank all our panelists. This discussion has indeed been very stimulating. And I think the current times that we are in, we can keep talking, we can keep discussing, solutions and recommendations to this topic. And of course, this time would have been short enough for us, given any situation. But thank you so much for all your time, Mr. J.C. Sharma, Mr. Harshvardhan Neotia, Mr. Manish Rastogi, Mr. Rahul Kadri, Mr. Niranjan Hiranandani, and Mr. Mohit Malhotra. It was a pleasure to have all of you on our panel today. I am also delighted to announce that Mr. Habib Khan, the President of Council of Architecture and our guest of honor for today, has joined me in live. He is going to share a few more words on the topic that we just discussed, following which the awards ceremony will begin. But before I invite Mr. Habib Khan to, share a few more words with us and his views, I would like to introduce him with a few more words. Mr. Habib Khan graduated in architecture from VNIT, formerly VRCE, in 1987. He went to the USA, where he completed his master's in architectural design in 1988 from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. He was awarded the JIIA Best Interior Design Award by the Indian Institute of Architects in 1998 and IIA KAFF Young Architects Award in 2000. He is currently the President of Council of Architecture, and it is an honor to have you, sir, with us this evening. Over to you, Architect Habib Khan.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My fellow panelists and the entire team of Pratap and Construction World. It's a pleasure and honor to be here amongst all of you. when I saw the topic of the panel discussion, I thought it is imperative that I attend and see what the discussion is, because in every other webinar that I go, and people ask me this question: what is the future of architecture, and whether architecture is going to get revived so soon? Are we going to get on with our livelihoods and so on and all? So I thought that I should attend this panel discussion and find it out for myself from the experts in their own right, from their horse's mouth, so to say. And I'm very happy to see the positive attitude that we all have towards the real estate and the growth in the economy, and the kind of bullishness that we all are showing towards our economic development of our country. The pandemic, to me, is a passing phase. Like other pandemics have come, other disasters have come, the human race will survive, and we are very resilient to spring back into action. The only thing is that in the pause that we have been given forcefully by nature or by divinity, or whatever you want to call it, we need to take a pause, look at the way we were running around the race of development, of a rat race, which no one probably knew where we were running and where we were going to reach. So we need to probably introspect and analyze what should be the future development. This is a golden opportunity that we have been given to learn and understand what should be the future course of architectural development, infrastructure development, economic development, and all kinds of development for our country. So, and we do not trample the earth and kill our resources like we did earlier. We have systematically rampaged Mother Earth and not cared for the environment and not cared for anything else except our selfishness, to survive. More and more needs grew, the human needs grew, and so, and we in the whole process, we didn't care for other species living on this earth. We didn't care for other natural resources, climate, and everything. I hope we learn a little from this and find out an amicable way which will be sympathetic to all living species on this planet, and also relook at the economic model that we all have been subscribing to. Couple of months of shutdown and trillions of dollars of economy has come to a standstill. So we need to really think and look at what this is going to be. Architects specifically, both our architect friends have very aptly and rightly pointed out what would be the new direction and what architects should do. And it's very imperative that architects really introspect and find out the future roadmap of architectural profession and development in this country. Thank you for making me a part of this panel. It was really enlightening to know the views of the stalwarts of the industry. Thank you so much for being.
Thank you, Mr. Habib Khan. That was a very insightful talk, and can't agree more. Definitely times to relook at economic models, reinvent, and create a future roadmap that is going to be most effective under any given situation. So with that, we now move on to announcing the winners of our much celebrated awards, the Noteworthy Projects, India's Top Architects, and India's Top Builders. From here, over to Serafina D'Souza.
Along with recognizing India's top architects and builders, 3 years ago we added a new category of awards, the Noteworthy Projects, thus reaching out pan-India to award projects that have excelled and are a landmark in themselves. And in a bid to unearth even more talent across the country, 2 years ago we introduced yet another category of awards, the Regional Awards. These are presented to a top architect, a top builder, and a top interior designer in each of the regions, North, South, East, and West. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you the men and women who were tasked with the toughest job, selecting India's top architects, builders, the regional winners, and the Noteworthy Projects out of a long list of nominees and their tightly contested entries. Here's announcing the names of the jury members of the Noteworthy Projects category. Architect C. N. Raghavendran, Partner, C.R. Narayan Rao Architects, Mr. Mohit Malhotra, Managing Director and CEO, Godrej Properties, Mr. Juza S. Kothari, Managing Director, Conserve Consultants, and Professor A. Meher Prasad, Professor, Department of Structural Engineering, IIT Madras. We now present to you the jury panel for India's top builders as well as regional builders. Mr. Alakesh Roy, Managing Director, Zamil Steel. Mr. Kunal Mohan Nethani, Design Principal and Founder, White Studio Architects. Mr. Edwin Saldana, Managing Director, Boon Edam Entrance Technology, India. Mr. Anil Kumar Singh, Chief Civil Logistics and Infrastructure Engineering and Projects, Tata Steel. Mr. Anuj Puri, Chairman, Anirok Property Consultants. Mr. Anil Haldipur, Director, CBRE. Mr. Avanish Singh Vasen, CEO, Encraft India. Mr. P. Gopalakrishnan, Managing Director, Asia Pacific and Middle East Markets, GBCI. Mr. Alok Agarwal, Chief Marketing Officer, Orient Bell. Mr. Ambar Maheshwari, CEO, Indiabulls Asset Management Company. Mr. Vivek Sharma, Managing Director, Panasonic Life Solutions India. And Mr. Vivek Singh Rathore, Director, Salient Design Studio. We now present our jury members for the award category, India's Top Architects as well as Regional Architects and Regional Interior Designers. Mr. Sandeep Somani, Vice Chairman and Managing Director, HSIL. Ms. Millie Mazumdar, Managing Director, GBCI. Ms. Priya Nevagi, Executive Director, Newton Software. Mr. M.V. Harish, Managing Director, Project and Development Services, JLL India. Mr. Amit Bhagat, CEO and Managing Director, ASK Property Investment Advisors. Dr. Ananta Singh Raghuvanshi, Senior Executive Director, Experian Developers. Ms. Anumita Roy Chaudhary, Executive Director, Research and Advocacy, CSE. Mr. Vishal Mirchandani, CEO, Commercial and Retail, Purvankara. Mr. Amar Tendulkar, Chief of Design and Sustainability, Mahindra Life Spaces. Mr. Avinash K. Gautam, CEO, Silvan. Mr. K. Veerappan, Vice President and Head, Engineering, Design and Research Center, Buildings and Factories, L&T Construction. And Mr. Anil Goyal, Managing Director, Heritage. We are grateful to each and every one of you, our jury members, for your contribution towards selecting our winners today. Ladies and gentlemen, we now unveil the 15th CWAB blockbuster that features all our winners, jury, noteworthy projects, and images for the past 15 years. Over 50 winners across all categories, over 100 jury members, over 36 noteworthy projects, over 28 regional award winners for the past 15 years. Links of this copy will be sent to our entire database of architects, builders, developers, contractors, interior designers, state governments, PWD officials, urban development departments and town planners, smart city CEOs, among others. Ladies and gentlemen, here's presenting the 15th CWAB Blockbuster Edition. I would like to mention and thank our partners for their support to the CWAB Awards powered by BKT this year. Gold partner, Kone Elevators, Silver partner, Katera, and Design Dialogue partner, Orient Bell Tiles. As Louis Kahn once said, a great building must begin with the immeasurable, must go through measurable means when it is being designed, and in the end must be unmeasured. And I'm sure this and more is what the jurors saw when they selected winners of our category, Noteworthy Projects. To recap, the awards had a 4-member jury who assessed the projects and ranked them. In categories where we had a tie, we are awarding more than one project. Now presenting India's most noteworthy projects. In the Noteworthy Projects residential category, we have 2 winners, one for building apartment and one for independent home. The award for the CWAB Noteworthy Projects residential category for building apartment goes to Embassy Grove, Bangalore. This is an exceptional gated community located in the heart of Bangalore CBD. I now invite Mr. Aditya Veerwani, Chief Operating Officer, Embassy Group, to say a few words.
Hi everyone, I'm Aditya Veerwani, COO at the Embassy Group, and I would like to thank the CWAB for awarding us with this very prestigious award. I'd also want to give a shout out to our teams who've been involved with all our projects, but not just our internal teams. I also want to give a shout out to the vendors, to the consultants, everyone for their vision and hardship to put all of this together. These awards are extremely motivating for us, and at Embassy we love to push boundaries. Thank you once again for these awards, and thank you for the motivation going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Veerwani. And the next award in the Noteworthy Projects residential category for independent home goes to Pixel House, Ahmedabad. Antipodal requirements of privacy and togetherness drive the concept and development of this villa. I now invite Ms. Bhadri Suthar and Mr. Snehal Suthar, Principal Architects, the Grid Architects, to say a few words.
Thank you, CWAB, for honoring us with this prestigious award, Noteworthy Award for Pixel House. Thank you.
This project is all about sustainability, natural light and ventilation, and the innovative concept of a railing-less staircase surrounded by plants. We would like to congratulate our team, the Grid Architects. Thank you, CWAB, once more.
Thank you, CWAB.
Thank you, Mr. Suthar and Ms. Suthar. The next award for CWAB Noteworthy Projects is the commercial category, and the award goes to the Courtyard in Kochi, Kerala. This project followed the mantra of Think Local, Act Local. May I now invite Ms. Sridevi Changali and Ms. Rosie Paul, Principal Architects and Co-Founders, Masons Inc., to say a few words.
Hi guys, I'm Rosie Paul. And I'm Sridevi Changali, and we are Masons Inc. Studio. We would like to take this opportunity to thank CWAB for this recognition. Our project, The Courtyard, has been shortlisted for Noteworthy Project 2020. In this project, we looked at the past to inspire us. We've taken elements from the local vernacular and given it a contemporary twist. And even in terms of materials, we've used very earthy materials like stone, recycled wood, and earth itself to create this architectural edifice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Changali and Ms. Paul. The next award for CWAB Noteworthy Projects is the institutional category. And this year we have a tie. Announcing our winners in no particular order of ranking. The Lalit Suri Hospitality School, Faridabad. The Lalit Suri Hospitality School expresses the ethos of the client's company while manifesting the tradition and future of the hospitality trade.
I now invite Sonali Rastogi, founding partner, and John Alok de Cruz, Director Projects, Morphogenesis, to say a few words.
Good evening. It's very gratifying to get this recognition for the Lalit Suri Hospitality School. This is because it sets many relevant benchmarks for today.
Being net zero on water and energy and having 100% daylit and naturally cross-ventilated corridors, the building predominantly uses low cost and low maintenance, locally sourced materials, namely Kota stone and brick, the latter of which is extensively used across the jalis in the building that are contextually inspired.
The greenery of the existing neem forest guided and was juxtaposed liberally with the building itself. The result is very satisfying.
Our next winner in the institutional category, the Rani Vidyalay in Thirampalayam, Tamil Nadu, took inspiration from the 6th century built Hiruvalarai temple's walls and the layered cross-sections of 50-year-old houses in the region. To accept the award, I now invite Mr. Rajakrishnan D., partner, Shanmugam Associates.
Thanks to Rane Foundation for giving us this opportunity to design the educational institution. Thanks to CWAB and the jury. I would also like to thank the entire team, Chanmum sir, Balu sir, Ranganathan sir, Ramkumar sir, to making this project a special one. I am proud of the entire team. I would also like to thank Anjali, Ramya and Santosh. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Krishnan. Moving on to the next award, Noteworthy Projects Hospitality category. And the award goes to Think of It, both Cafe and Restro, Surat. The project is a garden restaurant that has built form to the minimum and uses pocket-friendly materials. I invite Mr. Krishna Kapadia, Director, Studio Lagom, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Hi everyone, I would like to accept this award on behalf of our whole team of Studio Lagom, and also thank CWAB for giving us the platform to show what we believe in. We think that each building demands care, and it's unique by the way of its users and function. We strongly believe that architecture can leverage the innate beauty of each material with harmony with nature and create the right balance between less and more. Thank you.
Thank you. The next Noteworthy Projects Award for the retail category goes to Times Square Mall, Naya Raipur. The mall has been designed in a way that it consumes minimum energy. I now invite Mr. Gurpreet Singh Shah, Principal Architect, Creative Group, to say a few words.
CWAB for the honor and award for Times Square Mall. This is a project very close to our heart. This is one of the first sustainable retail and mall in Chhattisgarh. Here we have used the concept of mutual shading, and we have made the atrium and the common spaces totally comfortable without the use of any kind of air conditioning. So this is a great step towards our future. We have used jalis and we have used latest technology of materials to make it sustainable by making effect of Venturi effect. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Shah. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to our last set of awards of the Noteworthy Projects in the Interiors category. Considering the overwhelming response, variety and quality of the entries received this year, we have extended this segment with projects further being awarded under the categories of Interiors for Residential, Interiors for Commercial, Interiors for Institutional, Interiors for Hospitality, and Interiors for Retail. These are in no particular order of ranking. The award for the Noteworthy Project in the Interiors Residential category goes to Access House, Nagpur. Influenced by nature, this home is an orchestration of spaces. May I now invite Ms. Bhadri Suthar and Mr. Snehal Suthar, Principal Architects, Carpenters, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Hello everyone. Thank you CWAB for awarding us with this prestigious Noteworthy Award for Access House.
The concept of skylight at the meeting point of two pitched roofs and welcoming natural light and the amalgamation of forms and sustainability led to this concept. Thank you jury members and CWAB team again.
Thank you Mr. Suthar and Ms. Suthar. The next award in the Noteworthy Projects Interiors Commercial category goes to Visage Beauty and Healthcare in Noida. This contemporary workspace has been designed to facilitate engagement, collaboration, and employee efficacy. I now invite Mr. Amit Arora, Partner, Group DCA, to say a few words.
A big thanks to Construction World for recognizing yet another of our works. This project was extremely special to us. Client gave us a very interesting brief and opportunity, and the whole team worked very hard to do what we did, and everybody who works there really enjoys being in that space. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arora. The next award in this segment of Noteworthy Projects is the category Interiors Institutional, and the winner is American Embassy School, New Delhi. The new design of the spaces in this renovation project aims to provide an unusual degree of lightness and elegance. I invite Mr. Avinash Gautam, Design Principal, Education Design Architects, to say a few words of acceptance.
Thank you CWAB jury for acknowledging education design efforts to change the education paradigm by selecting American Embassy School for Noteworthy Project under the Institutional Interiors category, where we have created inspirational student-centric learning communities that suits today's as well as future needs, thereby aligning with CWAB's theme for this year of futuristic vision. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gautam. Moving on to the next set of awards, Noteworthy Projects in the Interiors Hospitality category. And the award goes to Fonterra Wada A in Asagao, Goa. This project has been built with the nautical theme of holiday homekeeping. We have Ms. Sara Sham, Principal Designer, SG's Atelier, saying a few words on accepting the award.
Thank you so much, Construction World, for this amazing award. It's such an honor for us to have even been considered in this category. I think looking towards the future and futuristic design, we really hope that a lot of sustainable practices and eco-friendly design are incorporated in our spaces and in everyone's spaces. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sham. We now move on to the last set of awards in the Noteworthy Projects category, Interiors Retail. And this year we have a tie. Announcing our winners in no particular order of ranking, DLH Headmaster Salon in Mumbai and Verve ECR in Chennai. The DLH Headmaster Salon in Mumbai is a retrofit of a parking lot converted to a chic boutique salon built with Indian context. And to accept the award, I invite Ms. Santa Gaur and Mr. Savant Kaul, Principal Architects, Infinity Design Studio.
Hello everyone.
Hi.
This is Santa Gaur.
And this is Savant Kaul
from Infinity Design Studio, Mumbai. Thank you for giving us this award for the most noteworthy project of 2020 in the Interiors Retail category.
So we thank the jury and CWAB in recognizing our efforts to create a cutting-edge design and in principle changing the way a salon works.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Gore and Ms. Kaul. Our next winner in the Interiors Retail category, Verve ECR in Chennai, is one that enunciates splendor in both design and experience. I invite Ms. Rakhi Bedi Kumar, partner, Rakhi Shobhit Design Associates, to say a few words on the acceptance of the award.
Hello everyone, and from Team RSDA, I would like to thank CWAB to give us this wonderful platform to showcase our works. One attributable factor which led us to win this category was the absolute and unabashed creative independence or creative freedom given by our clients, enabling us to push our design boundaries, which made us achieve a vision in the form of our design, not only for this year, but for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kumar. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting all our winners of the Noteworthy Projects category. Congratulations to all of you. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite our silver partner, Katera's country head, Mr. Najib Khan, to say a few words with us.
Hello everybody, this is Najib Khan, country head of Katera. I'm extremely thankful for inviting me to this award function ceremony, online award function ceremony. During this pandemic times, it is such a difficult to organize functions like this, but Construction World has done a tremendous job creating an amazing function, and I'm very, very proud to be part of this function. Construction industry is one of the biggest industries in India. It contributes more than 10% of the GDP. Now, India's urban population increasing by the statistics showing that by 2030, India will have more than 415 million people staying in our cities. And this numbers needs huge infrastructure, huge number of buildings. Now, this is where really the importance of technology in our construction field. Today, construction field has so many challenges. If you really look at the situation we are in today, we have a huge shortage of labor. We have cost overruns. We have so much of wastage at this site. We have inefficiencies in design. We have inefficiencies in construction. So how do we resolve all these issues? And how do we get going so that we have a much better buildings and much sustainable buildings within that limited time we have, within the budget, within the time period? Katera is one of the construction technology company focused very, very seriously about these challenges. And our solution is manufacturing the buildings. And we are a full stack company. We start from design to design development, to the shop drawings, to manufacturing these building components, take them to the site, install them, our own connection detail, our own IP protected connection detail, so that end of the day, these buildings behave like monolithic buildings. In addition to this, we have added one more aspect. This is what I was talking about, the automated construction, and I'll tell you what this is. This concept is called DFMA, Design for Manufacturing and Assembly. So we started to manufacture automated way the building components. So if you take an office building, you have columns and beams and slabs and staircases and retaining walls and all kind of stuff. So what we do, we cut the building into pieces, as many repeatable pieces, okay? And these pieces we manufacture in our state-of-the-art factory in an automated way. So this approach of DFMA create a huge value for construction industry. Recently, we have finished a 1.6 million square feet of office building for Infosys. And the challenges were, this is within the electronic city where you have almost 100,000 people are working, and the site is right inside the electronic city phase 1. And we really need to finish this building almost 16 months for 1.6 million. And without creating any nuisance to the, the environment where there's a lot of work, IT employees are coming and there's a lot of offices are running. And we have taken the challenge, and we have finished the project on time with a very, very less impact, noise, pollution, all that stuff, very less impact to the environment, and we have delivered the project. Our Prime Minister's vision to become a $5 trillion economy by 2025, it's an amazing vision. And we are being part of the construction industry has a lot to contribute to that vision. I want to thank construction world for taking this challenge of emergence and the importance of construction technologies in our industry, and taking a charge and spreading the awareness, the importance of construction technology. I also want to wish all the best for all the participants and the winners on this event. And good evening to all. Looking forward to see you all very soon.
Thank you, Mr. Khan, for your address and your support towards the event. Ladies and gentlemen, now moving on to our next category of awards. 2 years ago, we added a new dimension to the awards, a category that we recognize as the CWAB Regionals. The aim has been to recognize and offer a platform to companies striving towards excellence and whose operations are focused in a particular region. The awards had a 12-member jury panel for architects and interior designers and a 12-member jury panel for builders who assessed the nominations received. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the awards for CWAB Regionals North 2020. And the award for the top architect in the North region goes to ANA Design Studio. Originally established as an architecture firm in 1996, ANA Design laid its foundation as an architecture and engineering firm in 2010. I invite Mr. Amin Nayar, Principal Architect, to say a few words on accepting the award.
I want to thank the CWAB team for this honor. It's a great honor for us and very humbling as well. I also want to thank the entire ANA team for their extreme hard work over the projects that we've done in the past years and the efforts that they make to continue to improve our quality. But I believe that the real honor for this award goes to our clients and customers who worked with us for so many years, allowed us to experiment on projects, and taken our word for results, including when we've asked them to take certain technological risks in the building that we've done. So a big thank you to all our customers.
Thank you, Mr. Nayar. The next award for the top interior designer in the North region goes to New Delhi-based Ruchi and Shashank Design Studio. I invite Ms. Ruchi Mandle and Mr. Shashank Mandle, principal designers, to now say a few words.
Thank you so much CWAB for selecting us as Best Interior Designer of 2020 in North India region, and we are pleased to accept this trophy that our work has been appreciated as based on futuristic vision in interior designing.
Our all projects are majorly based on the sustainability, using local materials, less impact on the environment, and therefore we keep on working towards the sustainability, and hence our vision is futuristic, and we look forward to do more and more projects on that basis as well. And to end with that, thank you so much CWAB for giving us a recognition and selecting us for the same. Thank you so much.
CWAB.
Thank you, Mr. Mandle and Ms. Mandle. And now the award for the top builder in the North region. And the winner is OMAX. I now invite Mr. Jatin Goyal, Executive Director, to say a few words of acceptance.
Thanks a lot, Construction World, for this beautiful award, and thanks for your faith in our construction practices. As you feel that all construction practices are futuristic and design oriented, today's requirement is not for buildings that last forever, but today's requirement is buildings which can adapt to last forever. So we use futuristic and innovative materials and design for this to happen. Thanks a lot for this award.
Thank you, Mr. Goyal. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the next set of awards. CWAB Regionals South 2020. And the award for the top architect in the South region goes to not one but two firms. Yes, we have a tie. Calling on the winners in no particular order of ranking: Crest Architects and Masons Inc. Quest Architects is a multidisciplinary architecture, landscape and interior design firm based in North Bangalore. And I now invite Mr. Vishwas Venkat, founder and principal architect, to say a few words.
Hello, I am Vishwas Venkat, founder and principal of Crest Architects, Bangalore. We are truly humbled to have received this award. We believe our constant quest to create pristine spaces that enrich the quality of living through timeless design has won us this award. On behalf of the whole team at Crest Architects, I thank the organizers and the allied jury to have honored us with this prestigious award. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Venkat. Masons Inc., our next winner in the South Top Architect category, is a people-oriented design and construction firm specialized in sustainability and heritage conservation. I now invite Ms. Sridevi Changali and Ms. Rosie Paul, principal architects and co-founders, to say a few words.
Hi everyone, I'm Sridevi Changali.
And I'm Rosie Paul. We are Masons Inc. Studio, and we'd like to thank CWAB for this wonderful honor. We believe that sustainability is a way to the future. Hence, we use natural building materials innovatively to respond to the challenges and needs of the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Changali and Ms. Paul. And now, the award for the top interior designer in the South region goes to Urban Zen. This firm, formed in 2011, has scaled up over the past 9 years. I now invite Mr. Rohit Suraj, founder and CEO, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Hi everyone. This is indeed a great honor. CWAB and the jury members, thank you for this. Being represented and awarded for the region of the South in India is indeed a huge honor. In terms of the firm, we Urban Zen are still young, we're growing, and I have to thank our clients here for having the faith in us to allow us to showcase what we do best, and that's creating possibilities for human life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Suraj. The next award for the top builder in the South region goes to none other than Purvankara. This firm has only grown from strength to strength. I now invite Mr. Ashish R. Purvankara, Managing Director, to say a few words of acceptance.
We are delighted to have won the award for Top Builder in the South category. At Puravankara, cutting-edge technology has always been in our DNA. In fact, we have been one of the early adopters of technology in the industry, be it in high-tech construction practices or at customer touchpoints. We remain committed to embracing PropTech, which has helped us cater to evolving needs of our home buyers and stay ahead of the curve. Extremely proud of our team. This award belongs to them. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Puravankara. I would like to mention and thank our partners for their support to the CWAB Awards powered by BKT this year. Gold partner, Pune Elevators, Silver partner, Katera, and Design Dialogue partner, Orient Bell Tiles. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next are winners of CWAB Regionals East 2020. And the award for the top architect in the East region goes to Pace Consultants. This architectural consultancy has a presence of more than 40 years in Eastern India. I now invite Mr. Devmalya Guha, Principal Architect and Partner, to say a few words.
We thank the CWAB team for organizing this marvelous event even during these difficult times. We thank the eminent jury panel for honoring us with this award. We believe that the best way to prepare for the future is to design it, and we do it with our belief system rooted in the past and our vision focused in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Guha. Based on the entries received and the jury's discretion, this year we would not be announcing a winner for the top interior designer in the East region. Going to the next award, ladies and gentlemen, the award for the top builder in the East region. And the winner is PS Group, a firm with the presence of over 3 decades. I now invite Mr. Arun Sancheti, Director, to say a few words.
Thank you CWAB for rewarding us this prestigious award. We are in this business from last 3 decades and we have completed more than 134 projects in and around Calcutta. At present, we have more than 15 green buildings right now in our constructions, and we committed that whatever we will make the green buildings. We have won this award because we continuously strive to provide the best experience. Today, better than yesterday, tomorrow, better than today. Completing our all projects in timeline, this is our motto, and customer satisfaction is also one of the main motto. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sancheti. Now, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next are the winners of CWAB Regionals West 2020. And the award for the top architect in the West region goes to Morphlab, a 2012 established architectural studio. I now invite Mr. Sahil Jain, Principal Architect, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Hi everyone, I'm Sahil Jain from Morphlab. I would really like to thank CWAB and the jurors for selecting me as the best architect in West India with this beautiful trophy. I really feel honored and excited to be a part of this, and thanks again to the CWAB team to keep doing this and motivating designers each year to do better and better. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jain. Moving on, the award for the top interior designer in the West region, and the award goes to Infinity Design Studio. This firm is involved in the designing of premium luxury residential projects along with residential, commercial and industrial projects. I now invite Ms. Santa Gaur and Mr. Savant Kaul, Principal Architects, to say a few words.
Hello everybody.
Hi everyone, this is Santa Gaur
And I'm Savant Kaul
from Infinity Design Studio, Mumbai, and we would like to thank everybody at the CWAB team for awarding us with the Best Designer of the Year for the Western region.
So it's been a constant pursuit of ours to do environmental friendly as well as future ready projects, and we thank the CWAB jury for awarding us this award and recognizing our work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our winners of CWAB Regionals 2020. Congratulations to all of you.
Let's now have a look at the corporate film of our partner, Orient Bell.
As Walt Disney once said, you can dream, create, design, and build the most wonderful place in the world. But it requires people to make the dream a reality. And this is true to our next set of awards, the National Awards. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we now announce the most awaited India's top architects and top builders. Please note that the winning builders and architects have not been ranked, and the awards are being announced in the alphabetical order of the company names. As Stephen Gardiner once said, good buildings come from good people, and all problems are solved by good design. So here's presenting the category of awards for this evening, India's Top Architects 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, the CWAB 2020 trophy for being among India's top architects goes to none other than Architect Hafiz Contractor. This Mumbai-based leading architectural design consultancy has grown from a modest 3-person firm in 1982 to a team of over 550 people. I now invite Principal Architect of the firm and Padma Bhushan awardee, Mr. Hafiz Contractor, to say a few words on accepting the award.
First and foremost, thank you, construction world. The whole world is virtually stopped, but your awards and your functions are still going on. And I really congratulate you. Thank you, and thank you for what you are doing, positive work for our building industry. Thank you very much, and all the very best to you all, and keep it up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Contractor. The next CWAB 2020 trophy for India's top architects goes to DSP Design Associates. This Mumbai-based firm caters to an array of verticals within architecture, interior design, and smart building solutions across domains. I now invite the firm's founder and principal, Mr. Yatin Patel, to say a few words.
Good evening, everyone. This is Yatin Patel, founder and principal of DSP Design Associates, and I'm thrilled to be part of the CWAB Awards yet again. This award endorses our endeavor into delivering smart and intelligent architecture and delivering these services across India, Southeast Asia and Australia. Thank you Priyanka, thank you Falguni and the entire CWAB team for making this happen for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. And ladies and gentlemen, the next CWAB 2020 trophy for India's top architects goes to Edifice Consultants. This Mumbai-based firm is one of India's premier design consultancies with a team of over 180 motivated professionals. I now invite Mr. Ravi Sarangan, director of the firm, to say a few words.
Thank you ASAPP Media for bestowing this prestigious Construction World Architect and Builder Award on Edifice. This year has been a strange year, but the team at Edifice has worked year on year, month on month, even during these pandemic times as if nothing has happened. They put in a phenomenal effort in taking Edifice to the top, and the future is going to be bright in their hands. Fantastic effort by ASAPP Media, fantastic effort by all the Edificians who made this journey brilliant, and we are looking at a brighter future ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sarangan. The next Top Architect Award has been bagged by Gayatri and Namit Architects. This Bangalore-based firm has always aimed to curate the perfect blend of the past's grounded richness and the future's ambitious sense of utility. I now invite Ms. Gayatri Shetty and Mr. Namit Verma, Principal Architects, to say a few words.
Hi, we at GNA make sure that our designs follow every rule of sustainability. We love that nature gets into our buildings, whether it's architecture or whether it's interior design.
In essence, the 28 years of existence of GNA is a classic fusion of opposite polarities. We have done high-tech, sustainable, cutting-edge technology in the CWAB Global Campus, which is also one of the largest net zero buildings. And on the other extreme, Vedic gurukuls or monasteries in absolute nature's setting.
Namit and me profoundly thank CWAB for giving us this award, CWAB 2020 Award for India's Top Architects.
Thank you.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Ms. Shetty and Mr. Verma. Moving on to the next CWAB 2020 trophy for the Top Architects category. And the winner is IMK Architects. This Mumbai-based firm, established in 1957, ensures the effective and efficient delivery of holistic design solutions that don't just meet initial expectations but transcend them. I now invite the firm's principal architect, Mr. Rahul Kadri, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Hi, I'd like to thank Construction World and Builders Jury for giving us this award, selecting us for this. Our visionary clients for this round of awards, Symbiosis, Dr. Mujumdar, Dr. Vidya, who had great faith in us over the last 20 years, building for them, Mr. Valiappa Group, and the Government of Maharashtra. Our visionary and our very hard-working teams who work tirelessly to make these projects come alive. And thirdly is our amazing process which we have which brings out the best from clients' aspirations and really fills in the meat. So the design process is really what we find brings what the vision of the clients and the hard work of the architects together, the wonderful buildings we make. Thank you.
Coming up as the next winner for CWAB 2020 in the Top Architects category is INI Design Studio. This Ahmedabad-based multidisciplinary design firm offers consulting services in architecture, engineering, planning, urban design, landscape, sustainability, interiors, research and art. I now invite the firm's chairman, Mr. Jayesh Haryani, to say a few words on receiving the award.
Namaste and good evening to everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank each of you for joining us and being with us for this wonderful evening. I'd like to thank and congratulate Falguni and Pratap Padode and entire CWAB team for providing such a highly needed platform for design and construction industry and recognizing well-deserving work put out by the industry members. On behalf of entire INI Design Studio team, I'd like to thank CWAB and all of the jury members for recognizing our work with such a prestigious national level award. This sure means a lot for countless hours of hard work and dedication put out by our team. Even more importantly, this is true for family members of INI team. Without their continued support and belief in INI, this would have not been possible. Finally, it is my pleasure to accept such an honor and this trophy on behalf of entire INI team, and I truly like to thank CWAB and everyone who supported us.
Thank you, Mr. Haryani. Moving on to the next winning firm in the category of India's Top Architects. And the winner is Morphogenesis. This New Delhi-based firm is globally recognized for its diverse work that encompasses a range of specialized practice areas. I now invite the firm's founding partner, Mr. Manit Rastogi, to say a few words on accepting the award.
On behalf of Morphogenesis, I would like to thank everyone at the CWAB Awards for honoring us with this award for the 10th time. And it's an absolute pleasure every time we win this award, and we hope to keep doing so in the future, for it really encourages us to perform better every year. Given the vision of the current award, An Architecture for the Future, it's an honor to have won this award simply because our constant strive towards in our projects for integrating the local arts and crafts and large-scale commercial projects, for our pursuit of net zero energy buildings, net zero water, net zero waste to landfill, and our ability this year to have demonstrated a unique prototype for off-grid architecture in the hills has been highly encouraged by this award, and we hope to keep excelling in developing an architecture of the future. So thank you very much once again for honoring us with this award and for recognizing us and encouraging us to do the right thing and to build a future that we as Indians can be proud of, and an architecture that can be recognized globally. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Rastogi. The next award for this evening, the CWAB 2020 trophy in the Top Architects category, goes to PG Patki Architects. This Mumbai-based firm has consistently built landmark projects with a reputation for excellence over the last 45 years. I now invite Mr. S.P. Patki, Principal Architect, to say a few words on his acceptance of the award.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great that technology has progressed to a point that allows us to congregate in the virtual space this evening to celebrate this grand occasion. I am honored that CWAB and the esteemed jury considered our works and our projects worthy of this award one more time. Coming especially in these trying times, this award, which is the most coveted in the construction industry, is certainly an immense moral booster to us. On behalf of the entire team of PGP, I express my gratitude to all of you at CWAB, the esteemed jury, Pratap and Falguni, for recognizing our talent and our contribution to quality architecture. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Patki. The next award for this evening, the CWAB 2020 trophy in the Top Architects category goes to Prem Nath and Associates. This Mumbai-based design organization, established in 1967, has been offering project management consultancy services all over India for nearly 50 years. I now invite Mr. Prem Nath, Principal Architect, to say a few words on accepting the award.
My greetings to everybody. I'm Architect Prem Nath from Prem Nath and Associates, Mumbai. Fusion, a future vision, happens by taking leading initiative ahead of time. That's how we did it, by creating India's first gold-graded green architecture and township in Punjab, India's first platinum-rated green campus architecture in Gujarat, and platinum-rated smart architecture in Gift City. By using new technologies, energy efficiency, zero discharge process, and eco-friendly materials, and thus creating award-winning sustainable architecture. Today I stand before you in humility and gracefully accept this award, the Construction World 2020 India's Top Architects Award. My thanks to jury and my thanks to the Construction World team. Cheers to fusion and cheers to future vision.
Thank you, Mr. Nath. The CWAB 2020 trophy in the Top Architects category. And the winner is none other than Sanjay Puri Architects. This firm has been featured as among India's top architects by CWAB year after year and has won over 150 international and over 100 national awards. I now invite Mr. Sanjay Puri, Principal Architect, to say a few words on accepting the award.
All of us are Sanjay Puri Architects. The entire team come together with me to thank you, Construction World, for this prestigious honor and award. All our recent projects have been driven by contextuality and sustainable design, making energy efficient buildings, and with the theme of futuristic design for this kind of architecture to be appreciated on such a large scale is amazing. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Puri. Ladies and gentlemen, we have together the country's top architects. Congratulations to all of you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, before I invite our guest of honor for the evening, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja, Vice Chairman, Rail Land Development Authority, a few words about him. A well-known name in Indian Railways, a civil engineer par excellence, an upright officer and a true leader, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja is a graduate in civil engineering and a postgraduate in structures from the Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh. In his illustrious career of 32 years in Indian Railways, Shri Dudeja has played a key role in the commissioning of over 700 km of railway lines, including some of the most difficult new lines. He is also known in the Indian Railways for his in-depth technical knowledge of bridge design and has brought about many innovations in bridge design and construction. He is presently heading a dedicated team of Rail Land Development Authority since April 2019. Under his leadership, RLDA has broken all previous records of earnings as well as those of awarding of lease contracts in 2019-20. The authority has awarded tenders for long lease of land parcels worth Rs 15.50 billion during the year, which is its highest ever performance so far. Prior to RLDA, Shri Dudeja has worked as Chief Engineer in the Northern Railway, where in his brief tenure of less than 3 years, he brought about many innovations. He is known for his systematic and sincere approach for handling projects, which is why he was tested on some of the most challenging assignments and earned the informal title of Troubleshooter of NF Railway Construction. Sri Dudeja has been at the helm of affairs related to expansion of railway network in the country for about 5.5 years while working as Executive Director in the Ministry of Railways. During his tenure, Indian Railways broke all the records of commissioning of railway lines when a total length of 2,822 km of railway lines was commissioned in 2015-16, and his efforts were duly recognized by the Government of India by awarding him the Vishishtha Seva Praman Patra by the Honorable Minister of Railways. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now invite Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja to please address us.
Namaskar and greetings to all ladies and gentlemen who have gathered here to celebrate excellence and to recognize leaders for their notable contribution to the Indian real estate sector. I am delighted to be the guest of honor at the 15th edition of Construction World Architect and Builder Awards. I would like to thank the ASAPP Info Global Group for giving me an opportunity to interact with some of the brightest minds in India. For over 20 years, ASAPP Info Global Group with Mr. Pradeep Padode at the helm has drastically transformed the B2B media universe with its dynamic offerings in the print, web, and events space. The holistic information experience provided by the group through its bouquet of awards, such as the Construction World Annual Awards for construction equipment and building material companies, the Construction World Architect and Builder Awards for top architects and builders, and several others like Equipment India Awards and Smart Project Awards have set a benchmark for the industry. The Construction World Architect and Builder Awards have emerged as a flagship event and a one-stop platform for the construction and architecture industry for the past 14 years. This event has an opportunity for developers, investors, consumers, and real estate ecosystem. In fact, it's a great opportunity for them to converge on a common platform, and it recognizes their exemplary contribution in building a futuristic India. Real estate is the backbone of economic development and is the second largest employer in India after agriculture. The current COVID-19 pandemic situation, it has led us to embrace digitization and hold virtual events on a wider scale. Nevertheless, it should not dampen our spirit, but strengthen our resolve to bounce back with renewed vigor. We should perceive this as an opportunity to reassess, reinvent, and re-innovate. These three concepts have played a pivotal role in shaping real estate over the past few decades. The current COVID-19 crisis has also underscored the significance of collaboration and innovation in real estate to retain a competitive edge in the market. The interplay of policy regulations, the emergence of new technologies, and changing consumer preferences present one of the exciting times for the Indian real estate market. As India has already entered the Unlock 3.0, sustainability, efficiency, rationalization of costs, and improvement in performance should be our strategy for gearing up for the new normal. Now it's a new normal, with COVID-19, it has taught us very many new lessons for future. As a responsible organization, Rail Land Development Authority is committed to ushering innovation and shaping the discourse of real estate development through the redevelopment of residential and commercial spaces, renovation of pre-existing properties, better land use, and monetization of vacant railway land parcels in India. This will play an instrumental role in not only boosting real estate prospects, but also shape new India in sync with the changing demands of time. This new India will exemplify a beautiful mix of modernity with upgradation while preserving its cultural heritage and architecture. Presently, RLDA is redeveloping 62 stations across India, and in addition, Indian Railway Station Development Corporation, which is a 50-50 joint venture of IRCON and RLDA. RLDA is 50% partner in IRSDC. They are also developing 61 railway stations, in addition to RLDA developing 62 stations. This redevelopment will be on PPP mode, and it will be a self-sustainable model in line with smart city projects launched by the Government of India. Most of these projects are in prominent metro cities and religious and tourist destinations. The redevelopment of these stations will offer state-of-the-art amenities and best experiences to the commuters. It will also boost the tourism potential and enhance real estate as well as investment prospects of the surrounding regions. The redevelopment of these stations will be an enabler to modernizing them in line with changing consumer preferences over time without altering their heritage and architectural values. One of our flagship projects is the redevelopment of railway station in New Delhi. Being the national capital, the city is a nerve center of political, commercial, and tourism activities. New Delhi railway station was established by East India Company in 1926 to serve the growing transport needs of Indian population. It was a single building then, and now new structures have been added over the years. The station has today emerged as one of the busiest in India and is one of the highest revenue generators for the Indian Railways. The redevelopment is in line with the government efforts to promote New Delhi as a world-class tourism destination on a global map. The project will transform one of the busiest stations into a world-class transit hub. The station will be equipped with state-of-the-art amenities such as elevated concourse, multi-level car parking, food courts, hotels, and offices. Some residences will also be developed by the side of the station. The modernization and upgradation of these facilities will offer curated experiences to the commuters without diluting its historical significance. Another project on our radar is the commercial development of vacant railway land at Howrah. The city is an important transportation hub of West Bengal and is a gateway to Kolkata. Often referred to as Sheffield of the East, Howrah is home to several light engineering industries. Like that of New Delhi, Howrah railway station also has a legacy of its own. It was conceptualized by George Turnbull, Chief Engineer of East Indian Railway Company, and it was inaugurated in 1854. Today, it has emerged as one of the busiest transit hubs. The vacant railway land at Salt Gola, near Howrah station, will be developed as a commercial hub. The land also has a riverfront which can be used for commercial ferrying services. The development will not only put the land to better use, but also boost tourism, create jobs, and enhance prospects of investment in the region. The real estate ecosystem is our formidable partner in the journey of ushering New India through our initiatives. Most of the projects will be developed under the PPP, public-private partnership. This model has emerged as a scalable and viable solution worldwide to ensure private sector participation in India's development story. It combines the best of both the worlds, public and private. It brings the expertise, innovation, strategic insights, and professionalism of the private sector, while public participation ensures that the issue of public interest is not diluted in the development. As such, the real estate players and leading architects have a great responsibility today in shaping India's development story. They have done commendable work in this direction, and their efforts must be recognized and valued. Events such as Construction World Architect and Builder Awards play a pivotal role in sensitizing the stakeholders on the role of real estate players and leading architects in modern India and augmenting the government efforts in this direction. I would like to extend my heartiest wishes to all the winners and participants and hope that their contribution will serve as a benchmark and inspire other players to follow their footsteps. I would again like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to ASAPP Info Global Group for its exemplary contribution to the media industry. I wish them all the best in their future endeavors. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Shri Ved Prakash Dudeja, for your thought-provoking address. Presenting the awards for India's top builders. And the winner of the CWAB 2020 trophy in the category of India's top builders goes to Ambuja Neotia Group. This Kolkata headquartered company has a strong forte in real estate, hospitality, healthcare, education, and startup incubation. And I now invite Chairman of the group and Padma Shri awardee, Mr. Harshvardhan Neotia, to say a few words on accepting the award.
I'd like to thank Construction World for once again bestowing this award on our company, Ambuja Neotia. Thank you very much. The future vision for our company is we would like to focus more on sustainability. We've always been a company that practiced green technologies and tried to incorporate various sustainable practices. But looking at the challenges that COVID has thrown up, I think there is greater need to focus more deeply on these issues, and this would be one of the most important aspects that we would like to put our energies on and hopefully improve the level of or reduce the level of carbon footprint that our projects bring.
Thank you, Mr. Neotia. Next, the CWAB 2020 trophy in the category of India's top builders goes to Brigade Group. This Bangalore-based company has completed over 250 buildings across sectors and cities. To present this award to India's top builder, Brigade Group, I would like to request Mr. Amit Gosen, Managing Director, Kone Elevator India, to please do us the honors.
I'm very happy to be here at the 15th edition of CWAB 2020 and to present this Top Builder Award today. Thank you.
I now invite Mr. M.R. Jaishankar, Chairman and Managing Director, to say a few words on acceptance of the award.
Thank you, Construction World, for recognizing Brigade as one of India's top builders. I'm really honored to be accepting this award on behalf of the entire team at Brigade. Thank you.
Let's now have a look at the corporate film of our partner, Kone Elevators.
We are Kone. Our vision is to deliver the best people flow experience, and our mission is to improve the flow of urban life. A global leader in the elevator and escalator industry, our India operations are backed by state-of-the-art facilities that stand testimony to our promise of delivering a people flow experience like no other. We are always looking at what's next for our customers. Our solutions are just the beginning of smart, connected and future-proof cities. Come, walk into the future of people flow with Kone.
The next CWAB 2020 trophy in the Top Builders category goes to the Embassy Group. This Bangalore-based company has developed over 62 million square feet of spaces across sectors and holds an extensive land bank of over 1,000 acres across the country. I now invite Mr. Aditya Virwani, Chief Operating Officer, to say a few words.
Hi everyone, I'm Aditya Virwani, COO at the Embassy Group, and I would like to thank the CWAB for awarding us with this very prestigious award. I'd also want to give a shout out to our teams who've been involved with all our projects, but not just our internal teams. I also want to give a shout out to the vendors, to the consultants, everyone for their vision and hardship to put all of this together. These awards are extremely motivating for us, and at Embassy we love to push boundaries. Thank you once again for these awards, and thank you for the motivation going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Virwani. The next CWAB 2020 trophy in the Top Builders category goes to none other than Godrej Properties. This Mumbai-based firm combines a 123-year legacy of excellence and trust and has received over 250 awards and recognitions. I now invite the firm's Managing Director and CEO, Mr. Mohit Malhotra, to say a few words.
Hello everyone. I hope everyone is good and keeping safe at home. I would like to thank Construction World for selecting Godrej Properties as India's top builder. We express our deepest gratitude for giving us this award. I would also like to congratulate all my fellow winners of CWAB Award 2020. Keep safe and keep smiling everyone. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, to present our next award to India's top builder, I would now like to request Mr. Arvind Podar, Chairman and Managing Director, Balkrishna Industries, to please do us the honors.
I am very happy to be here at the 15th edition of CWAB 2020 and to present this Top Builder Award today.
The Hiranandani Group. This company has been one of the most premium real estate developers in India with more than 40 years of experience in this business. I now invite the firm's founder and managing director, Dr. Niranjan Hiranandani, to say a few words on accepting the award.
Construction World for giving me once again a Top Builders Award for the year 2020. Even in this COVID times, it is wonderful to note that Construction World continues to hold the award ceremonies. Of course, this time it is online and really recognizes the work that is happening. The COVID situation is very difficult, and in spite of that, many of us are able to continue to do construction activity even in these very difficult times. But thank you, Construction World, for recognizing all this activity of all the construction industry, the developers, and the building industry. Thank you, and I wish you the very, very best.
Thank you, Mr. Podar and Dr. Hiranandani. Let's now take a look at the corporate film of our partner, Balkrishna Industries.
Trust, hard work, honesty,
and vision. These are the pillars on which BKT has thrived for over 30 years. This is BKT, a global player today in the off-highway tire industry with a global market share of around 6%, a sales volume of $900 million and exports to over 160 countries. All this is due to one man's visionary leadership, Mr. Arvind Poddar.
We drive to be the most trusted off-highway tire company in the world.
And taking this drive forward is his son, Mr. Rajiv Poddar. Together they form the leadership at BKT. BKT has a manufacturing footprint across India. With its factory in Bhuj being the largest of its kind globally. BKT considers latest technology as its backbone and has state-of-the-art machinery for greater speed and efficiency. BKT tires are of the highest quality at par and better than the best in the world.
It's our top-of-the-line technology that adds to your bottom line.
BKT has created its own independent research and development center, as it places immense focus on product development to engineer and deliver the most scientifically advanced solutions and performance-based products. Post-development testing is done in a simulated environment. As well as on a one-of-its-kind testing track, which is part of the center. On the one hand, BKT installed its own power plant in Bhuj for self-sufficiency. On the other, as early as 2004, it began to be ecologically efficient, leading today to 40% of the power needs of the manufacturing plants being fulfilled via green energy. The company is also socially aware and fulfills its responsibilities towards society. And shouldering these responsibilities with great elan is Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Poddar.
We believe great companies have a sense of purpose that is greater than profits.
As part of its mutual growth philosophy, BKT is an avid supporter of sport across the world.
The essence of BKT lies in embracing challenge.
BKT has set up global offices to ensure a strong market presence and the best customer service.
We believe it is not only vehicles that run on our tires, but the entire company that do.
Not just the external consumer, but every stakeholder has equally helped BKT scale to these heights, as per Mr. Rajiv Poddar.
We believe in forming long-term relationships with all our stakeholders.
It is this core team that is committed to helping BKT's customers across the world in fulfilling their ambitions. A team which is always preparing for the future. And because of these very people who are the strength of BKT, today it is poised towards becoming the world leader in the off-highway tire industry. BKT, growing together.
Moving to our next award, the winner of the CWAB 2020 trophy for being one of India's top builders goes to Mahindra Lifespace Developers. Established in 1994, this firm's development footprint spans 25.3 million square feet of completed, ongoing and forthcoming residential projects. I now invite Mr. Arvind Subramanian Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, to say a few words.
Honorable Governor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of my colleagues and business partners, let me thank the jury for recognizing Mahindra Lifespaces as one of India's top builders. It is indeed a deep honor and privilege. It is also a timely reminder of the important role we need to play as India emerges from this crisis, one of the worst in our living memories. As a pioneer in sustainable urbanization, Mahindra Lifespaces has been shaping a futuristic vision of urban living, combining innovation and design with emerging technologies. Urbanization is a powerful force that can bridge the divide between economic and social opportunity and human needs. And Mahindra Lifespaces is committed to that purpose. I thank you once again for this recognition.
Thank you, Mr. Subramanian. And the next CWAB 2020 trophy for being among India's top builders goes to Prestige Estates Projects. This Bangalore-based firm has diversified business models across segments with operations in 12 key locations in the country. And I now invite Mr. Gopal V, Director, Projects and Planning, to say a few words.
Well, thanks for recognition from Construction World, Architects and Builders for this beautiful award for us. Working throughout the country and many cities are seeing Prestige logos go up in the sky. We are very conscious of our whatever we are doing work and a good quality work, and we are nature friendly and ensure that there is enough care taken as we go along. This will give a good recognition for us to go along, much more projects to come. Thanks, Construction World.
Thank you, Mr. Gopal. The next award in the Top Builders category, and the winner is Salarpuria Satwa. This Bangalore-based company has over 3 decades of unwavering commitment to quality constructions across 8 cities in India. I now invite Mr. Vijay Agarwal, Managing Director, to say a few words.
It's indeed a great honor for me to accept the Construction World Architect and Builder Award 2020 in recognition for being one of India's top builder. I thank the jury for this prestigious award. At Salarpuria Satwa, innovation is a state of mind. Our Asia's best IT parks like Knowledge City, Hyderabad are a standing testimony to our technology-enhanced and eco-friendly futuristic spaces. Our buildings are IGBC certified, platinum-rated green buildings that are the ultimate environment-friendly workspaces. Innovation that embraces technology in every square foot and in the process wins us loyal clientele. This is the true measure of our success. Stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Agarwal. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the last CWAB 2020 trophy in the category of India's top builders, and it goes to Shobha. This Bangalore-based company has a footprint in 27 cities and 14 states across India. I now invite Mr. T.P. Sitharam, Whole-Time Director, to say a few words on accepting the award.
It is indeed an honor to receive the CWAB 15th Annual Award on behalf of Shobha Limited. Shobha is known for its quality, its integrity, timely delivery, and so on. This year, the theme of the award is Futuristic Vision, and Shobha is equally well known for its innovation, its ability to adapt, its ability to meet challenges and deliver high quality products to its customers. I am indeed grateful to CWAB for recognizing Shobha on yet another occasion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sitaram. Ladies and gentlemen, here's presenting India's top builders. Congratulations to all of you. I would like to thank all our partners for their support to the CWAB Awards this year. Ladies and gentlemen, before I invite our chief guest for the evening, His Excellency Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Governor of Maharashtra and Governor of Goa, a few words about him. Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari assumed the office of the Governor of Maharashtra in September 2019 and Governor of Goa most recently. He brings with him a vast and varied experience of public service. Shri Koshyari was born and attained his higher secondary education in Uttarakhand. Known affectionately as Bhagatda, he was appointed as Minister of Energy, Irrigation, Law and Legislative Affairs and later appointed as the Chief Minister of Uttarakhand from 2001 to 2002. An RSS veteran, Shri Koshyari served as National Vice President of BJP as well as the BJP Chief in Uttarakhand. He was elected to the Rajya Sabha from Uttarakhand in November 2008 and held the position till 2014. In 2014, he was elected as the member to the 16th Lok Sabha from the Nainital Udham Singh Nagar constituency. Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari has tremendous grassroots presence and is known in the entire state of Uttarakhand as a people's leader. He took oath as the 19th Governor of Maharashtra on 5th September 2019. At a public function in Mumbai, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, publicly acknowledged that he had the honor of working under the guidance of Shri Koshyari when he was in charge of the party in Uttarakhand. Shri Koshyari most recently took additional charge as the Governor of Goa on 19th August 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, may I now please invite His Excellency Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari to address us.
नमस्कार। इस कोरोना कोविड-19 के समय कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्ल्ड के द्वारा एक अच्छा वर्चुअल इवेंट किया जा रहा है, इसके लिए मैं आपको बधाई देता हूँ। Nowadays, only the video conferences has become the virtual, and I don't think that these are really virtual, but I hope the corona is over very soon and we should meet with each other and have virtual talks with each other, man to man, person to person. That is the really virtual conference. Anyway, but this construction world under the leadership of Mr. Pratap Padode, founder editor-in-chief of ASAPP Info Global Group and all others such important construction groups, this event is quite useful today, and hope that after this event the construction group, the construction world and architects and other all concerned people, related person to it, will definitely give a new initiative to Indian construction and even advertising. And I am also happy that the construction world, this group also gives awards for best projects, etc. To each region of India, And I do think that today the importance of construction work, this construction and other all such activities has become very much, and hope that under the leadership of Mr. Padode, the persons engaged in construction projects, in advertising and other related subjects, they will be encouraged and they will get new inspiration from such events. Hope that in near future you are bringing some magazines, some all other such thing. I hope you get success in all this. I wish you success. Thank you very much.
Undoubtedly, we've had a wonderful event this evening. We thank our special guests for their valuable time in joining us. Before we end the event, I'd like all of you to take a quick glance at the screen for some of ASAPP Info Global Group's upcoming events which may be of interest to you. Once again, heartiest congratulations to all our winners and thank you to all the stars of the evening.
I now invite Tanveer Padode, Manager Operations, ASAPP Info Global Group, to please propose the vote of thanks.
I have the difficult job of holding your attention while you browse through your WhatsApp chats and Instagram feed. I'd like to thank His Excellency Shri Bhagat Singh Koshyari for his address and his presence, which once again gave the CWAB Awards the indelible stamp of credibility. Thank you, sir. I'd also thank Mr. Ved Prakash Dudeja for his presence and his encouraging words on opportunities that abound. I thank Mr. Habib Khan for his presence and very interesting and insightful address. The CWAB Awards 2020 were powered by BKT Tires, Gold Partner, Kone Elevators, Design Dialogue Partner, Orient Bell, and Silver Partner, Katera. We are very grateful for your support, especially in these times. Thank you. We thank our jury for their time and commitment and for doing the tough job of sifting through excellence. Thank you, jurors. I thank our panelists, Mr. Neotia, Mr. Sharma, Mr. Hirandani, Mr. Malhotra, Mr. Rastogi, and Mr. Kadri for throwing some light on the real estate conundrum. I also thank our audience for their presence and patience today. Thank you. I thank our event manager, Hansa Vision, Ketki and her team for their patience with us as we worked with them on our first digital awards and the superb job they have done. Thank you. I especially thank our ASAPians who have succeeded against all odds to get the job done and keep the show going. Thank you, ASAPians. And last but not the least, I thank our winners. We are here today because of what you do. Your persistent efforts and fortitude have rightly got you the accolades that you deserve. Thank you and good night.